Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about what I think is the most powerful duo in the entire game, and it might not be what you think. It's not Countess Lix and Astralon, which obviously pair very nicely. It's not Siphi and Rotos, even though arguably they're maybe one of the best. And we all know it's not Oella and Ultan of the Shell. And even though it's not official, it's not even Mikage and Oboro. So who or what is it? What is the most powerful duo in this game? Stick around to find out. Guys, before we move ahead, new player promo link is going to be in the pinned comment and description of this video and going to get you off to a solid head start in Raid with a free legendary and 3 free epics as you level up your account. Here's what you need to do. You need to log out of Plarium Play on your PC and uninstall the game, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email address, launch Raid, complete your tutorial, go to your inbox and claim your first free champion. It's a good one, guys. You don't want to miss it. So who or what is this duo that I felt was so important I had to make a video about? Well, it's not champions at all. It's actually a great combination between the Hell Hades Optimiser and global gear presets. Now, a little while ago, we had to pay to change gear and everything got incredibly expensive. It discouraged us from essentially wanting to try new builds or, just experimenting for a bit of fun in this game. However, now that it's free, what we can actually do is only ever use our best gear. What a great thing. This means that we can essentially get rid of all the sort of mid-tier gear that we've kept. We can sell it all and make a ton of silver that we can spend on upgrading some of our better gear. And ultimately, it just means that whenever we go into a battle, providing we remember to actually do it, we will always be putting our best foot forward. So I'm going to go over my way of doing this. I'm not saying it's the best way. Everyone has a different account. Everyone's going to have a different way of doing it. But here is what I do so that I never really have to deal with the headache of struggling to get past stages ever again. Let's start with what I think everybody should do right now. Pick one of your champions where you are actually very happy with their build. I'm going to go with this Mikage build I've got here. She's fast, she's in Relentless, she's just my all content, take her anywhere, and I know she's going to kind of do her job. So we're going to open up the preset manager here, and as we're going to see, we don't have a champion preset. We've got some globals, we'll go into those in a minute, but on our champion preset, what you want to do is you want to come down to this button down here, click it, and we are going to save this preset as Mikage main. It's going to include the accessories and we are just going to save it as a champion preset. We're going to do that. There you go. It's going to appear in here. If we want, we can also save it as a global preset. That is an option. We can sort of get into that a little bit later. But now that that's done, what I'm going to actually go through and do is all of the champions that I am happy with. Now, I've done quite a lot of these over the weeks that we've had the free gear removal. But as you can see, if I open up a champion here, does he have a preset? Yes, I did 3 builds on Gizmac. We settled on this one, so I'm actually just going to delete the other ones because I don't need these anymore. And there you go. I would like to rename it, and this is going to be Gizmac main. There you go. What we want to do is go through all of our champions and make sure that this is done. The main reason for this is so that we've always got a way to revert in case we break any builds. Let's say I'm putting together a champion today and I want to pinch these boots to do a test. Well, as long as I've got a gear preset, I can remember I took those boots off Gizmac. Whenever I'm done, I just open up the preset manager and go, boom, try it back on, and he is as he needs to be. So that is going to be step 1. There's a lot of champions to do. I've done it on most of mine now. Let's talk about what I deem to be step 2. Step 2 is going to be familiarizing yourself with the Hell Hades Optimiser. Now, this is a free tool. There are paid upgrades that you can do, but I think for most people, just the basic free version will be absolutely fine. You'll want to head over to hellhades.com. You will want to click the Optimizer tab and just go through the process of installing it, whether you're on PC or Mac. This also does come on mobile. I've not used it myself, but it seems to work much the same. There's just, a few less features. You don't have to pay for the premium version. You can just use the basic free one. Sort of depends on how much work you're trying to do with the optimizer and what you're really trying to get it to do. Hell Hades has done a lot for the community, so by all means, go and support him by getting a premium plan. For today's video, I am just using the free version. So let's dive into this whole locking system, because this is the most important part of using the optimizer, because you don't want to build a champion and then build another one and it just uses the same gear. That's not really what we want to do. So you'll see here I've got these little padlocks down the side of the screen, and they are kind of lock priorities. For any build where I am super happy with it and I know I'm not going to want to change it, I will lock them at priority number 5. And it just means that whenever I want to do a build, let's say we're using the optimizer here, we'll just go damage, we go to configure, and you'll see here there's a little thing that says include artifacts on locked champions. What I will do anytime I'm doing a build is I will click on this here and it says exclude locked champion tiers. I exclude priority 5 because I do not want any gear from those top tier champions to go on anyone else. These are like my final builds. I don't want to mess with them. I do tend to do this like once every 6 months. I'll sort of reevaluate the gear, see if anything's upgraded. But what I will always do is make sure that champions that are locked priority number 5 just don't get dragged in whenever I'm trying to make new builds. So that is step 2. You're going to need to get the optimizer. Right, step 3. Now that we have essentially made our own champion presets and we're starting to get used to the optimizer, let's talk about how we're actually going to use this to actually progress in the game. It's actually quite simple. This is where global presets come in. So if we open this up, preset manager, and we're going to go to global presets. Now, funny little thing, I'm like super OCD, and for a while it was really bothering me that these were all in a weird order until I realized that you can click manage, you can then click on move, and then you can actually just move these up and down. So weirdly, it was kind of that was stopping me doing this originally. I just didn't know you could move them. But that is by the by, that's just me being really picky. As you'll see on the screen here, I've got Merciless 6 number 1, Merciless 6 number 2, and Merciless 6 number 3. These are basically my best bits of Merciless gear that make up sets on my account. And the way I use these, you'll see here, I've got them locked. You know, Wukong's in my best, Toshiro's in my second best, and Garrel is in my third best. I can just flip these whenever I want. Let's say I'm trying to get past a stage in Cursed City today, and I can't use any of those champions. But let's just randomly scroll and say, oh, I can actually use Gembo. Now, I wouldn't normally think that Gembo is worth putting my best gear on, but what I can do is if I'm really struggling to get through a stage, I just click on Gembo, go to filter, preset manager, global presets, and I'll go, right, I want this Toshiro gear on him, so I'm going to go try on, and then I'm just going to equip it, continue, because it's no longer going to cost me 1.5 million silver. I can go off into the Cursed City and do the bit of content, and then when I'm done, I can go, oh yeah, I don't need Gembo in that gear anymore. Let's find Toshiro. Cool. Filter, preset manager, global, and we're going to find this one here. It was Merciless 2. We're just going to pop that gear back on him. It's done. Like it never happened. It didn't cost me anything. All it cost me was a little bit of time. I got the bit of content done that I wanted, and now my champion is as he was. Nothing has really changed. It's super disgustingly powerful, and I actually think it's better than any other feature we've got in the game. Let's talk step 4, what I think is essentially the final stage to conquering these global presets. I'm going to make a preset for a boss that I'm trying to make a video on at the moment. I'm trying to make an easy guide to take down the Scarab boss in Doom Tower. Now, it's definitely one of those bosses that holds people back. A lot of people get stuck on it, but a very solid way of beating it is to use the Destroy set. That just reduces his max HP, which gets rid of his annoying shield, which stops you from doing damage. When it comes to Cursed City, every month it's a different rotation. So maybe you bring in Vergis to do rotation number 1, but next month he's not available and you have to bring someone else in. So let's make a Destroy preset so that we can save it as a global, and then anytime the Cursed City's on, or even Doom Tower's on, I can just go, hey, pop him in this preset, do the bit of content, revert my champions back, and then just get on with my day. So let's build that right now. Here is a champion that I do already have in Destroy. Like I say, this is going to be for my Scarab boss builds. So just to double check before I break anything, I'm going to open up my preset manager. I do have a global preset. We're just going to manage that, and we're going to call it Vergis Destroy. That way, if anything goes wrong, I can just revert back. Nothing is going to get lost. But what I'm aiming to do is make a global preset. Now, one way of doing it, if you've already got a champion preset, is we can just go to manage and save as a global preset. It's going to appear down the bottom here. We're going to manage it, and I'm just going to call it Destroy 1, because I might make a couple of these. We're going to save that. It's still in the champion presets, but now it's also a global preset. And because the OCD is spiking, we are just going to move that up to the top so that I know where we are. There you go. Now we have Merciless and we have a destroy set. Now, what if I want to make another one? Very simple. We're going to jump over to the optimizer. Okay, now we are in the optimizer. Let's find Vergis. Now, as you can see, I've got him saved here and he is priority 4. That's good because it means that I want to strip that gear off him for the sake of this demonstration, but I definitely don't want to pull it off of my 5 stars. So he is happy where he is, and I'm just going to pick on Ragash for this video because I've noticed that Ragash shows up a lot in Curse City on the stages for Scarab King where I can't use Vergis. I'm going to click on Optimize in the bottom left. For this, I'm actually just going to go Balanced. We're going to scroll down to Sets, and I am going to add in a Destroy set. If I was being really picky, let's say there's some gear I really don't want to use on this build, very important sets. Let's click some, like I don't want Merciless, so we're going to get rid of that. Don't want Protection or really any of the variable sets. I don't want to pull from Savage. I don't want to pull from Lethal or Instinct. Probably not even Bolster. Just go through and get rid of sets that, you know, are really important for elsewhere. I'm quite happy with this. We're going to go with a 4-piece destroy set. Now that that's done, I want to add another set onto this, just any kind of healing, I guess. So we are going to go with Immortal. I believe that's the right one. Yep, Immortal. We're just going to put a 1 set on him. That's actually 2 pieces. So now that we've dialed in, we are configured to exclude priority number 5. We're going to go down to stats and I'm going to think, right, what do I actually need on this guy? Kind of just defensive. As long as he's got 100% crit rate, he's going to be chipping away at that shield, which would be nice. So we're going to set this 100 to 105. I only do that because of the mastery. If it puts out a 100% build, obviously he has 5% on him anyway. So it's just my way of kind of getting a bit of leeway. In terms of speed, probably let's just start it at 220. Now, when you are doing balanced optimizing, you are going to need to set priorities. This just means that, well, the optimizer has to have something to work with. So as we dial in the stats, we'll decide what's important. For something like Ragash, in this particular build, I'm not going to focus too much on accuracy. I just want him to survive. So I want to put at least 300 resistance on him. Ideally, more would be good. He's got his crit rate here. We can have a bit of crit damage, and then the rest of it's going to be defense. So I want to put in defense and HP as priority 2. That just means that the optimizer is going to just try and pull gear that has the most of that on it. We've got 220 speed dialed in, same with the crit rate. Crit damage, it's not really important now, and we're not bothering with accuracy. So once that's dialed in, I'm just going to click optimize and I'm going to press start. Now, depending on how much gear you've got on your account, will kind of determine how long this takes. I don't have much. That was quite quick. Let's have a look here. We've got, you know, 63k HP with 6.5k defense, 320 resistance and crit capped. That's pretty good. I'm relatively happy with it, but I just want to see if we can push it a little bit harder. With the optimizer, always start simple and build up rather than trying to throw crazy stats at it, because it will just turn around and say no. I want to see if we can pull that resistance up to, let's say, 350. And I want to see if we can pull that speed above 230. Let's hit optimize again. We're going to clear that and we're going to start it over again. This is a little bit better. 63k HP, a little bit less defense. We've got a bit more speed. We've got a little bit more resistance. So the next step is going to be to click view. And as you'll see here, this is what it's going to pull from. I can tell that it's going to pull from other champions, but that's fine. They're only locked at priority 4. Some of them aren't locked at all. Great thing about Optimizer in 2025, if you're using it on desktop, I can now just click equip in game. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I've got Ragash open in game. Okay, he's open. He is ready. I know you don't need to do this, but I always like to just click on the gear first so that it opens up this window here. We're going to go back to the optimizer. And as you'll see, we've got this lovely equip in-game button. So I'm going to press that and we'll get a message, equip artifacts executed successfully. Back to raid. And here we go. You will see that he has got the gear already loaded onto him. So rather than just equipping it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little icon here and I'm going to save this as destroy 2. This is going to be my second destroy set and I'm going to save it as a global preset. Now, it's not going to save the accessories for global because, you know, what if I want to put it on a different faction champion? All I'm worried about at the moment are the main 6 bits of gear. click global preset. As you'll see, it's gone down to the bottom here. We're going to use the magical powers of OCD to bring it back up the top so everything stays nice and organized. There you go, we click save. And now we've got 2 destroy builds ready to go on any champion we want. I'm not actually going to equip this gear on Ragash because I don't need him at the moment. So I'm just going to X out of that. Yet the preset manager still stays. So there we go. We've got Merciless, we've got Destroy. You can do this on anything on your account that you deem needs a preset for. If we jump over to the Cursed City, I don't know if I've got any keys. Haven't got any keys today, but let's say I'm going to want to take down like quite a hard stage. Let's go for something up here, S14. Bad example because there's hardly any champions I can use, but that kind of is what makes this duo so powerful. I look at these and I think, well, I would never use this guy. I probably haven't even got him built. What's his name? Baroth. Didn't even know that. Click here, and as you can see, none of these guys have got any gear on them. But let's say I want to bring Baroth into the team. Well, now rather than having to spend hours trying to work out how to build him without breaking other builds, I can just go, you know what? Let's look at his kit. Is he a nuker? Basically, he's a nuker. I'd click on him, I'd go to the preset manager, and I'd think, well, what sort of thing am I trying to achieve? I just want him in Merciless. Click try on, equip it, continue. There you go. Now he is ready to rock in whatever content I need to use him for. It seems a little bit kind of fiddly because you've got to do a lot of groundwork to make it happen. But once you have a preset for every champion, if you break builds like I did just then, I can just scroll down and think, oh, Wukong, that's the gear I took off. Preset manager, champion presets. I've just called it Mercy 6 Fast here. Try on, equip. He's back to how he was. I've done the bit of content that was giving me a pain before, and we are back in business. That's all you got to do. It's the most powerful tool that we now have in this entire game. And if you want to progress and progress quickly without all the headaches, I suggest you do this. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe as it super helps the channel out and lets me know that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I'll see you on the next video.